Hello and welcome to episode 3 of my 2018 makeup collection and declutter series. Today we are going to be talking about the highlighters and bronzers in my collection. So I actually never used to wear highlighter. I didn't really see the purpose, and then somehow I ended up with a huge stash of it. So without further ado, I'm going to show you guys all the highlighters and bronzers that I have in my collection right now, and then let's see if we can declutter some. Similar to the blushes, this is how I store my highlighters and bronzers. So I keep them all in this giant Muji drawer. Okay, here is a look at the highlighters I have, which quite outnumber the number of bronzers. I doubt I will be decluttering too many bronzers because I only have so many here. But there are a few highlighters that I can probably say goodbye to. Let's go through the cream products that I have here first. The first one we have here is the NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator. It's a really beautiful kind of coppery bronze liquid product, and it looks great alone. It also works really well to mix into like a moisturizer or even a foundation. So this one I will keep because I'm actually almost through this anyway, so I'm just gonna use it to use it up. I will say goodbye to this one though, which is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in, I believe, Opal. I really love the shade of this, but I'm almost out of this anyway, and I've had it for a while, so I'm just gonna say goodbye to it. I do love this and I would definitely repurchase the full size. Next is the Maybelline Master Glaze by Face Studio in the shade Warm Nude. So this is, I think, supposed to be a blush. This has since been discontinued and has been replaced with, I think, what they call the strobe creams, which are in similar packaging, but this is a really great cream highlighter. I just rarely reach for it because I find myself gravitating towards the Glossier Haloscopes instead. But as you can see, it's very different, but I'm still gonna say goodbye to it because I don't know, I prefer the formulation on the Haloscopes. I'm tempted to get the third one that I'm missing. It is a really beautiful champagne highlight and a little disappointed that they discontinued it. Like I said, the next two are the Glossier Haloscopes. So we have Topaz here, and then this one is Moonstone. They're both really beautiful. I love the formulation of these. They are very sheer, but yet buildable. They're comfortable to wear. They give your skin a really beautiful iridescent finish. So Topaz is more of a bronzy gold, whereas Moonstone is more of kind of an iridescent opal. Both of these shades look beautiful on my skin tone though, and they pick up the light really nicely. Then we have this limited edition Becca product. It's called the Shimmering Skin Perfector Slimlight. I really love this product, but I don't use it, so I think I'm gonna say goodbye to it. I love the formulation of this. It's really easy to apply, but I just rarely reach for this. I think it's just that maybe the tone of it, it's more of a bronze. Maybe I'll use this as an eyeshadow actually. So maybe I'll hang on to this, but not for the cheekbones, but for the eyes, because I really love the formulation of this. I just find that sometimes it's a bit too dark on the skin, so it might look really nice on the eyes actually. And then the last one is the Shimmering Skin Perfector Cream in Champagne Pop, which is a beautiful kind of a peachy champagne glow. I love this one and I love the cream formulations. I don't know if they're discontinuing this. I got this on a steep sale. I think it was like 50% off, but it's a really great formulation and it looks really natural on the skin when you blend it in. So as for the cream liquid highlighters, these ones I'm going to be keeping and these I'm gonna say goodbye to. Okay, here's a look at the powder highlighters that I have. A lot of these look very similar, but at the same time, they all kind of look a little different. I'm going to start with this first one here, which is difficult to see, but it's not really a highlighter, but I tend to use it for a glowy finish. It's the Ambient Lighting Powder in Luminous Light. It just has a bit of a luminosity to it. It's kind of like a peachy powder with a bit of a shimmer. So I love this. Again, I don't really use it as a highlight on its own. I usually use it more as a glowy finishing powder. Then we have the Laura Mercier Baked Radiance Powder in, I believe it's just called 01 Highlight. It's a really beautiful pale champagne shade. It doesn't really have that much of a shimmer to it, but it gives your skin this beautiful sheen, which I love. I'm gonna say goodbye to this little mini of the Josie Maran, I don't even know what it's called. It's the, Argan Enlightenment Illuminizing Veil. I just find that it's a bit chalky and I don't really feel like it does anything for my skin. The next one we have is the little duo from Stila. This is the powder duo and Kitten. I don't think these shades have a name, but if I do reach for this little palette, I tend to reach for the deeper shade, which is this one here. I find this one to be a little bit too pink and sometimes can look ashy on my skin tone, so I'm just gonna say goodbye to this. Then we have this trio from NARS. It's the Banc de Sable highlighting palette that they came out with last year. They have a couple of variations this year, but this one is my favorite. I'm actually not even tempted by the newer versions because I love this one so much. So there are 3 different shades here. I swatched them all kind of in a row here. So we have this pale opal, kind of a peachy champagne, and then a rosy toned highlight, and I just love this palette, so I'm definitely keeping this. The next 3 highlighters are all very similar, so I'm gonna have a difficult time deciding which one to keep because I feel like I should only keep one of them. But we have the Bare Minerals All Over Face Glow in Pure Radiance, then we have the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal, and then there is the Wet n Wild Precious Petals. And I love all of these highlighters because the formulation is really great on all of them, but like I said, they look very similar on the skin, so I don't really need all of them. I would say that Precious Petals from Wet n Wild and also the Pure Radiance from Bare Minerals tend to lean a little bit more pink as opposed to Opal, which tends to lean a little bit more neutral. So I think out of the 3, I'm going to keep the Shimmering Skin Perfector and Opal. It is a really great formulation. Ugh, I love this Precious Petals. It's just a bit of a duplicate in my collection, but this is such an affordable highlighter that I would highly recommend it. Then we have the Fenty Beauty Hustla Baby Kilowatt Highlighter. So this is a little mini of it, and it definitely leans the most gold out of all of the highlighters I have. So I'm gonna keep that because it's quite unique in my collection. The last 3 highlighters we have here are all kind of in the rosy tone family. So we have Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Rose Gold. We have the Wet n Wild, I think it's called Crown of My Canopy, and then the Estee Lauder Victoria Beckham Modern Mercury palette. The Modern Mercury palette seems to be almost the truest rose gold. It has a really nice, almost metallic finish to it. So I think out of the 3, I'm going to be just keeping the Modern Mercury. It is limited edition, so that's definitely a factor because it's not like I'll be able to repurchase it again. It has a gorgeous formulation and I just love the finish. I really love the other 2 highlighters also. The formulation is superb on them, but I don't really need all 3 of them in my collection, and I feel like I'll get the most use out of Modern Mercury. Crown of My Canopy is more of a bronzy gold highlighter, which is really pretty, but I also feel like it's a bit similar to the shade I have from the NARS palette, and I have to say I do prefer the formulation of that a little bit more. But like I said, these formulations are great, and I would not hesitate to repurchase them again if I decide I want them in my life again. And if you are looking for a really affordable but great highlighter, I would definitely pick up the Wet n Wild MegaGlo highlighting powders. So here's the last look at all of the highlighters. I think I might have been a little overexposed at the beginning, so hopefully this is a bit of a truer depiction of them. So we have the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Luminous Light, the Laura Mercier Baked Radiance Powder in Highlight 01, the Josie Maran Argan Enlightenment Illuminizing Veil. This is a little duo from Stila. This is the NARS Banc de Sable palette. This is the Bare Minerals All Over Face Powder in Pure Radiance, Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Opal, the Wet n Wild MegaGlo Highlighter in Precious Petals, the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Highlighter in Hustla Baby, Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Rose Gold, Wet n Wild MegaGlo Highlighting Powder in Crown of My Canopy, and then the last one is the Modern Mercury from Estee Lauder Victoria Beckham collection. So of the powdered highlighters, these are the ones I am keeping, and these I will be saying goodbye to. I forgot to mention the Dior Amber Diamond. I love this highlighter so much, so I'm definitely going to be keeping it. It's just like this beautiful shimmery champagne shade, and I probably have something similar in my collection, but I can't get over this highlighter. I still use it all the time. I don't have as many bronzers as I thought I did, and I've hit pan on quite a few of these. So these are all of the bronzers that I have. These first two are cream bronzers. The first one is the Sonia Kashuk Cheek Defining Contour Stick. And I'm just gonna say goodbye to this because I don't wear it that often. Plus, I don't find that this lasts very long on my skin. So I will say goodbye to it. It is a really nice tone though. I really like how easy it is to blend. I just don't find that it lasts very long. The other one is the Soft Bronze Cream to Powder Contour Stick from Benefit. It's the cream version of Benefit Hoola. I think I'm gonna hang on to this for a little bit longer. I always kind of forget that I do have it because it's so small. It was like a little perk that I got. It just kind of gets lost in the drawer. I will be saying goodbye to the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer in medium deep. One, because it doesn't swatch very well anymore. Plus, I've hit pan on it, and every single time I use it, more of this pan just breaks apart. This is a really beautiful matte bronzer though, so I would recommend it. They have since repackaged it, and I'm not sure if they reformulated it, but this has always been a really great matte bronzer. Then we have the Dior Nude Tan in 002 Sunlight, I think. As you can see, I've also hit pan on this, so I do use it quite a bit. I like it for those days where I want a blush and a bronzer in one because it has these like pretty pinky coral tones in it, but then also like the warm bronzer. So it looks really nice on the cheeks. Then we have the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. It is in the deep shade. There are 3 other shades, and this one works really well for me, even though it says deep. It is a bit of a cooler bronzer. This is what the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer used to look like. It used to be much more pigmented when swatched, so I will be keeping this. This is also a really great formulation. The next one is the Chanel Le Beige. This was a limited edition bronzer from a couple of years ago. It's in number 2, and I really like this bronzer. It does have a couple of different shades in there. I do not wear this bronzer enough, but I think since I don't have too many bronzers nowadays, I'm gonna get more use out of this because I love the Le Beige powders. They're so soft and silky and smooth, and they last all day long. And then the last bronzer we have here is one of my other favorites from Hourglass. It's the Radiant Bronze Light. Again, this is a deeper bronzer. It has a bit of warmth to it and also some shimmer, but the shimmer, although noticeable in the pan, is not so noticeable on the skin. It just gives your skin a really beautiful glow to it. So I love this. The last product here is the only contour product that I have. It's from Kevyn Aucoin. I've had this for a couple of years now, and I still have quite a bit of it. I rarely do contour, but when I do, I only use this. Of course, it's the only one I have. Plus, it's a really great powder. I love how cool toned it is. It really does give your cheeks a nice definition. This is in the shade medium, but I believe they have maybe 1 or 2 other shades now. So in terms of bronzers, these are the ones I'm keeping, and I'm only going to say goodbye to 2. So for the highlighter and bronzer category, these are the ones I'm going to be keeping, and these I am going to say goodbye to. So that is my highlighter and bronzer collection. So somehow I accumulated 19 highlighters, 7 bronzers, and 1 contour product. So that's a total of 27 products in this episode. So let's start with highlighters. I am keeping 11 highlighters and I'm saying goodbye to 8. I think that's pretty decent. I'm really happy with the highlighters that I do have. I don't have any highlighters that I'm hankering for. And then in terms of bronzers, I actually thought I had more bronzers than I do. So I had a total of 7 bronzers. 5 of them I will be keeping and 2 of them I will be saying goodbye to. But again, pretty happy with that. And then my lone contour product, which is the Kevyn Aucoin, I'm definitely going to be keeping. It's my only one and it's my absolute favorite. So overall, I was able to reduce my highlighters by 40% and my bronzers by 28%. When you put them into percentages, even though I went from 7 bronzers to 5, it still sounds really fancy. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this 3rd episode of my makeup collection and declutter series. If you're interested in watching some previous decluttering videos, you can click some of the ones I've linked here here for you. Before you go, you have to let me know what your favorite highlighter and bronzer is. I'm not really in the market for any right now, but it's always nice to keep it in the back of my mind. With that said, I will see you guys in the next episode, which will be probably eye makeup, so eyeshadows and mascaras and that kind of fun stuff. So hopefully that will be up tomorrow. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!